Unveil Your Mastery, a journey of total transformation. Remember who you truly are. Today, we want to talk about letting go of lack. It is a broad topic, and I ask myself when I think about lack, I see outside there is no lack at all in nature. The birds are getting their food and all the animals are well. Only humans want to have more and more and have always don't have enough things. And I don't know why this is happening like that. Could you say me something about it, Elke? Hi.
Hi Monica, how are you doing? It's nice to talk to you again, and hello everyone. And this week's theme, as Monica put so perfectly, is letting go or removing, clearing the feeling of lack that almost every one of us or every human has. And as you said so nicely, Monica, when you look around yourself in nature, the animals, the nature, the trees, everything is provided for. Only humans perceive they have some kind of lack, and the most perceived lack is the lack of abundance, the lack of money.
Mm-hmm.
Which very many people think if they just would have enough money, somehow they would be happy.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
the reason for this is our society has been mind controlled. Really, that's how we can put it. The paradigm of sex, power, and greed, which is a society that has been entirely mostly controlled by a few people that try to hold the majority of the population in a state of lack, and basically keep them running in a hamster wheel where they never can get to where they can feel fulfilled, or they can let go of lack.
Mm-hmm. This worked well for thousands of years.
Of course,
Till now.
and these people that think they need their power, that they are somehow are better through this, and whatever, they really try to do everything to sell to the normal population, to sell this agenda to them. And for thousands of years humanity has bought into it.
Mm-hmm.
And has been in a state of lack, and really in a state of trying to reach something that cannot be reached.
Mm-hmm.
Because yes.
Yes, but nowadays the technical devices like that we actually don't need to suffer hunger in further times.
Of course, I mean, almost everyone that is listening to us right now has a roof over their head and enough to eat, and their physical needs are provided for. That is actually the most profound things. You are provided for as well. The other things are mind-based, so the really things outside of you, all those materialistic things, or activities that keep your mind occupied, basically. So that we are, through advertising and stuff like that, we always get told that we have to have the newest gadget, the newest car, the newest kitchen, whatever, and the latest electronics. Otherwise, somehow we cannot be happy, and this doesn't. Well, somehow the other stuff magically stop to work or something. I don't know. So we have to have this to keep up with whatever. So I don't know with what, but with something, right? And most people buy into that, and they buy all that stuff and work for it, and then they give their money to the newest stuff again, and then of course there is a lag, because you always have to have the newest things, and they don't fulfill you. It keeps you in the hamster wheel.
Yes, the most funny thing for me is when you need a car to go to work, and when you have to work to pay the car.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, or whatever, to have the really, it's with phones. It's the same. You have to have the newest iPhone, or be it Samsung S7, or it doesn't matter. So it's always this, and you buy it, and then you have to work to get it. It really is a vicious cycle.
Yes.
You can't get out of it unless you become conscious of it, and you just realize, hey, they are keeping me in a state where I perceive that my happiness can be, or I can be fulfilled by buying material things, the latest gadgets, the newest car, the nicest clothes there are, that I have to look this way, that way, all that boxes people let themselves be put in. So
yes,
until you really realize that this is something you will never reach, because outside things can never make you happy, can never fulfill you. It's a difference. There are certain things you specifically are enjoying. That's a different things. But most people don't even know what they enjoy.
Yes, yes. You told it. You told an interesting thing about how they keep us in this wheel. They don't tell us what we have, but they tell us what we don't have. We always see what we don't have, but we don't see what we are having.
Exactly, the mind always keeps us actually it's the mind keeps us in a perceived state of lack, because our society, the old paradigm is based on the mind. Everyone operates through their mind, or not everyone, but most people, and not through the heart. So the mind is the master, instead of you yourself are the master, and the mind is your tool. And the mind always wants to be occupied. It wants to have the latest and greatest thing. It wants to be safe. It wants this. It wants that. It should be like this. It should be like that. It's always a lack. It doesn't matter what you do. It's always a state of lack. You cannot get where the mind wants to go, because there is never an end to it. So it keeps you outside. When you go into yourself, into really the first thing we talked last week, we talked about it, is really to start appreciating what you have, right? We talked about that.
Yes.
So seeing, hey, what I have, I live in a nice apartment, or I have the car I have, well, it brings me to where I want to go. That's okay. I mean, the other one looks nice, so maybe it has a few more gadgets, but basically it's the same thing. I have to get from point A to point B. It brings me there. So what's the big deal? Right? And I have a roof over my head. If it's big or small, that's a nice thing. So my body is safe, and I have enough to eat. So this is cared for as well. So what else do I really need and really enjoy? So do I use all this stuff to keep me occupied, or not me, the mind occupied? Or is it really, do I really enjoy it? Is it something I have been taught to do, or just to be occupied? So many people, when they come home from work, the first thing they do, they switch on the TV, or they take a book, or go on the computer, go to Facebook, or be it the phone. So it's always, you never have time for yourself, so to speak. You're always outside of yourself. And there is really that's where this feeling of lack comes from, because you are filling it with stuff, and this can never fulfill you. So the first thing is really to become aware of what you are doing, and then to find out what you are enjoying, and then what really fulfills you.
A big help for finding out what we are enjoying is to find out what we did, what we enjoyed most when we are little.
That's a point to start, exactly. So very many people are not happy in their job, so they are just doing it to make money, to keep all their expenses paid, and they are not doing it with their heart. The first thing is, of course, you can bring your heart into your job you have now too, but the second thing is just to see, okay, what really brings me joy? Where do I feel light? Where do I feel free? And then start to see, go out there and do that stuff in your free time, and make your connections, maybe do some courses, some whatever, do some certificates or practices or whatever, unpaid work, so that you can get connections and then see what is possible in this area that I really could expand myself into and live my work or work my, so that I really am fulfilled in my work. So do start with something in your free time, in your spare time, and if it's really something that fulfills you, the doors will open, right? That's the thing. So as you said, Monica, a good indicator is to see what did I enjoy as a child before I decided to go the safe route and take a job that makes me money, or just to jump into the box that society put me in and try to fit into something that I never will fit in. So, and very many people, and I would not suggest to do that, they just want their security, and that's totally understandable. So I don't suggest to just say, hey, I don't enjoy my job, I quit it, and then let's see what happens. Most likely your mind gets very worried, and everything goes south, right? Because you're not prepared for it. It's really put it out to the universe and go in that direction. Learn some stuff, get your connections, and then the doors will open if it's the right thing to do. And then you maybe, you might get a job in this area and it's not so well paid, but do you really need the things you have now, or can you just cut back on a few things and maybe buy that new car a few years later, or have a little smaller apartment and don't buy the newest gadgets for your kids every year, or when they come out they have to cut back as well. So if they want something, they can work for it as well if they are teenagers and have the age for it. So this is all to consider what you can do. So to walk in the direction of your fulfillment, because only that can really fill the feeling of lack. So that feeling of lack is really a lack of you, of fulfillment.
It goes around to the question for who do I live for? What I'm living for myself or for the others?
Yeah, most people do exactly the second. They live for others and to fit in and to be in a box and just, well, they survive, but they do not live, they do not thrive. Because there's always that feeling, oh my God, I have to pay this, I have to have this. Yeah, why? Who said that? Why can't you just do what you do and then, oh my God, yeah, maybe you live in a smaller apartment or whatever, but is it really so important? And to see what you enjoy, because if you really do what you are enjoying, where your heart is where your heart is. Then the doors will open and the abundance will come in anyways. So, but for most people, it's a good way to start in your spare time and then expand from there.
That's a good idea.
The doors will open. And for this week's exercise, we have to start you small. So because this lack, to stop feeling this feeling of lack with outside things. So we have thought about the exercise that you could do. So if you are going out, it's not about buying groceries or stuff, but if there's, say, you have a phone and there's the newest phone coming out, and then to ask yourself, do I really need that? Or is it just because, well, it's automatic that I buy the newest one, so I buy it. What's wrong with the old one? And really, do I need that? Or the newest television, the newest 4K virtual reality, whatnot,
yes.
TV for $5,000, or is my old one still fine? So just to see, why am I buying it, and do I really enjoy it? Enjoy it in a way, does it fulfill me? So, or is it just used as a tool to take me away from that feeling of lack, which is not fulfillment? So it just keeps your mind occupied, so you don't have to feel that feeling of lack. All these things like alcohol, drugs, watching TV, even reading or overeating, it is really feeling that feeling of lack, that you try to feel better through this, and really to find out, am I just trying to fill up this lack within myself? And by just asking yourself, if I really want and need that, if it really fulfills me, or is it just an automatic thing I do because everyone does it and I want to show off that I have the newest gadget or the newest car. And this way you become conscious what you are doing. And then you will see, and you can also ask yourself, why am I doing what I'm doing when I'm doing it? So is it really you that it is wanting to do it, or is it something you have been taught and you just do it because it's always been that way and it will always be this way? So it's really to get conscious of it and find out, okay, I'm just doing it because everyone else does it. And then ask yourself, do I enjoy it? And of course, if you enjoy it and you have the money for it, why don't you buy it and do it if it fulfills you, right? But if it's used as something to get your mind occupied and take you away from this feeling of lack, instead of seeking inner fulfillment, filling yourself up with yourself, then you should really start heading in the direction that fulfills you, where you feel fulfilled.
That's it. Yes, fill yourself with yourself.
Yeah, that's actually what we are doing, filling ourselves with ourselves, and putting the mind into its place as a tool. And then we can really enjoy this world as what it is, as the Eden that it is.
This is our exercise for this week, and next week we want to talk about clear your genetic blocks and ancestry around money. Isn't it like that?
Exactly. And the track of next week will address this, and with our conversation as well. And this week's track will help you to clear the feeling of lack. And everyone that has signed up will have it, and everyone that hasn't yet is very welcome to do so on the website. We are done for now, I think, Monica. And we talk to you next week. And we hope you all have an enjoyable week. And we love you.
Bye.
Bye.